The beginning of this movie, Logan is very lost. He is despondent. He's older. There's quite a few more grey hairs, but he's not well. He's sick. He's physically sick. And I would say spiritually and emotionally not in a great place. He's long past the stage in his life where he reacts to people's pleas and cries for help. He has come to the conclusion that generally when he helps, things end up worse off.
You're coming upon a man who's getting poisoned from the inside out. His skeleton, made of adamantium, is leaching inside him, and he's suffering. So we're finding a character in extreme distress.
He's not a hero anymore. He's a fucking mess. His body doesn't behave like it used to. His morality doesn't engage like it used to. He's just getting by.
All of the elements that made Logan, Wolverine are here in this movie. It's just that all the circumstances are different, and that's what makes this so interesting. The guy's struggling, really struggling.
To go back and be the person you've been trying not to be in order to do the right thing, that's always an interesting notion for a character.
He's always been in this role kind of grumpy, but not as grumpy as in this one. He's really grumpy.
The issues that the character is confronting are the most challenging ones he's come upon. It's been important for Hugh each time that we give him a journey as an actor that was engaging and interesting and fresh for him. So we had to work hard to kind of find new ground.
He still seems interested in finding new elements, digging under the surface. So I think that's a great testament to him. He's not complacent about this character, that he's still burrowing into it and finding new ways of sort of exploring him.
It's the best I've ever seen him as Wolverine. I think it's the best I've ever seen him, period.
The reason if the movie works at all works because Hugh Jackman committed 1,000% to playing this role and to playing it without compromise, to playing him older, broken, angry, all the things that make him wholly unappealing, and somehow manages to find humanity underneath all of that and to make him heroic at the same time. And that goes well beyond anything that was on the page.
The thought of Wolverine and Hugh Jackman cannot now be separated. The man and the role have merged. I don't mean to say that you need to be scared of Hugh Jackman, that he might actually rip your neck open at any moment. Actually, there's no other actor I know who is less likely to do something like that than Hugh.
What's extraordinary to me is just seeing the contrast between the real Hugh, who couldn't be more lovely and sweet-natured and generous, and then him having to sort of put on that gruff, taciturn man dealing with his darkness and his demons. It seems so far from the real man.
It's the opposite of him. It really is, because he's very nice and funny and sings all the time and tells jokes and stuff. But then when he's a Wolverine, it's a kind of total change. Like suddenly he's a grumpy man who hates you, and then they say cut and he's smiling and telling jokes.
Ow, ow,
It seemed to me that Wolverine may be one of the darkest, most complex characters in the comic book universe. And every time for the last 17 years I've seen PG-13, a little part of me has winced going, Wolverine would never be in a PG-13 movie. I don't think you would ever watch a PG-13 movie. There's just nothing about him seeing PG-13.
There's a manifesto in the script, a little 2-paragraph thing that we wrote about how the violence was going to feel, how it was going to appear, how it was going to be portrayed, that it was going to be meaningful, impactful, and have lasting consequences.
I didn't want to make just a more violent, more sexy, more explicit, obscene movie. I wanted to somehow make an adult.
I've heard people too.
You have to learn how to live with that.
It's the tone of this character who is full of rage and at times self-loathing and an anger towards the world that has shunned him.
I was like, this will not be a movie driven by a rating. It's not R-rated because of the violence, even though there is some R-rated violence in it. That's not what defines it as R-rated. That R rating is more about the subject matter, the way the characters are treated, the way violence is depicted.
When you make a movie rated R, it resets everyone how they're thinking about the movie. They instantly understand this is not a movie for children. So suddenly they don't expect you to be making a movie that's going to appeal to 9-year-olds. With that anticipation gone, you suddenly are making a movie about more grown-up themes.
It was just basically taking off the seatbelt, taking off any kind of restriction, and let's just dive into this character.
Feels more grounded and It's certainly tough and at times extremely violent.